Good afternoon and welcome to the latest episode of Between Sessions. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Esther Giordano today. Esther brings with her over 25 years of experience within speech-language pathology, and it's absolutely brilliant to have somebody on the series that's got such vast knowledge within the space. So really pleased to run through the questions and answers with Esther. Not only does she bring that level of experience in, she's also runs her own therapy called Simply Me Therapy, and she also is the author and creator of a wonderful program called Junganew. Now, before we jump into the questions, I think it's a really good opportunity for everyone to find out a little bit more about that. So I'm just going to hand over to Esther and give her a chance to tell you a little bit about Junganew. So over to you for a moment, Esther.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Junganew has been a labor of love for me. It's a program that is really a pretend world where we have an eclectic herd of puppets, our friendly animals that children can relate to, where we're teaching children to regulate, to learn speech and language development, and have fun in play. Not only is it teaching the children, but it's really modeling for the parents what they can be doing at home with the children. So it has developed into 2 books that have been published, an app that is also published, and a course for parents of late talking toddlers, as well as a newsletter that I just launched just the other day. So this is some resources for parents that they can use to help their children and join this pretend world in this jungle with our puppet animals to help children learn speech and language development.
Brilliant. That's great. And what we'll do as well, Esther, when the episode is published, I'll make sure that access to all that information is available on the publication, so people can jump straight in and go and do some research and have a look into it, and hopefully take advantage of some of the phenomenal stuff that you've got available in there.
Yeah, I can send you the links to all of the things I just mentioned.
Perfect. Perfect. Now, let us jump into the questions and get started on today's episode. So we're going back to the early start of your career for the first question, Esther. Just take me back to the moment that SLP became your path. Was it a person? Was it an experience? Or was it just something that you can't really explain that brought you into SLP?
Actually, it originated with my personal history. Unfortunately, at the young age of 12, I lost my parents. Wow. They passed away about 5 months apart from each other, and I had to live from house to house, unfortunately, in some abusive type situations. And my only escape really was school. I loved school. I loved the building. I loved the classmates. I loved the teachers. And one day, it was report card day, and I started crying. And this one teacher in particular noticed me, Mr. Shulman. He was my biology teacher in the 9th grade. And he, I guess, assumed that I had failed, and I didn't. I had gotten straight A's. And he was so impressed with that. And he was like, well, then why are you crying? And I was like, well, I don't really have anybody to show this to. So this man really just became my messenger from God. He really took me under his wing. He got permission from the school to help me do all my classwork and my homework in his office. We developed this relationship where, when I was living in these homes that were sort of tumultuous experiences, I sort of had gotten silenced. I really wasn't able to use my voice and speak my thoughts or opinions. I had to be sort of perfect and quiet and hide out in my room. And this man had given me my voice back. He really taught me to love myself. He built my confidence. He made me feel safe. He brought me his family, his wife and his 2 sons, which were my age, and they became like brothers to me. And he actually even gave me away at my wedding. Wow. I'm going to get choked up. And he became like a grandfather to my children. He was just very impactful for me. So because he gave me my voice, I really wanted to pay that forward. Yeah. And I thought, how better to do that than become a speech-language pathologist and give children their voices so that they can speak their thoughts, their opinions, and be heard in this world, because children matter and their voices matter.
Oh, they definitely do, and thank you so much for sharing that story, Esther. It makes complete sense why you're so passionate about the work that you do as well. It certainly goes well beyond a career for you, doesn't it? And I think it's a phenomenal route that you've gone down, and then channeled that and pushed it into something like this where you can help so many people as well. And it's really interesting to hear the impact that one human being can have on another. You know, that sounds like that individual's changed your life for the better, which is
Absolutely.
an amazing thing to go through, but also you knowing that you're potentially able to have that impact on other people as well. So taking that real life world experience that you've got and applying it is a great thing to do. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you. Now, question 2. So this is a bit more focused on the SLP world. So as we know, the job has lots of ups, but it also has challenges as well. Let's be honest about that. So imagine for a moment, strip away the challenges. On its very best days, what is it about the work that makes everything worthwhile?
Well, since COVID, I actually started to work virtually.
Mhm.
And I kept that because I feel like I was able to tap into the dynamics between the parent and the child a little bit more effectively, where I was able to coach parents. So that has been my role ever since. And I would say that the most wonderful days are the days that I can see the dynamic between a parent and their child. Many parents report to me that either they didn't have a chance to play when they were children for many cultural reasons, many hardships, like myself, where that resonates with me. They didn't, their childhood was sort of stripped from them, and they had to become an adult. But I've also had parents say that they forgot what it is to be a child, and they forgot how to play because it's all about the to-do lists and the responsibilities that we have as adults. So when I work with parents, I really try to tap into that inner child, and I help them to build that silliness, that playfulness, honoring any kind of play. It doesn't even need to be with a toy. It's really about them being the best toy in the room and the best play partner for their children. And I find that when I see that dynamic, you see something click, and that child is connected and the parent is connected, and they're both co-regulated and engaged in this play that is just such a beautiful dynamic to witness. And then the goals and the intentions and all those underlying things, they come just naturally, just through this beautiful exchange.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if you're in a position where, a child's working with a speech language pathologist, but then also got that additional support from home, and whether it be mum, dad, whoever has got the continued message and that consistency from home, especially in early intervention, the development that they're going to go through is going to be, 10 times the amount that they would get purely from being with an SLP, won't it? So I think, and it clearly lends itself very well to Junganew as well, because that's a big part of what that's all about, isn't it?
Yes, it's about parent coaching. And I always say when a therapist is working with a child, they're there for 1 hour within the week. And when a parent learns some of these techniques, they're there 24/7. This is happening during their daily routines, and it makes the mundane fun because they can do everything with their child in play. And it just makes the day go better. And that's really what it's about, right? Just being in the present moment and enjoying your child. Because you chose to have this child. So, it's just it's a beautiful thing. And yes, Junganew does that. We're working with the children, and we're tapping into how the parent can interact with that child.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And question 3 for today's session. If you could change just one thing about the SLP profession in the US right now, something that you think would really move the needle, what would that be?
I don't know if it would just be one, but I guess it's sort of interrelated. I think I would start with educating pediatricians about referring sooner and not having this wait and see approach. I think that we need immediate referrals for these children. And when we get that, I think that the delay that we have between a referral and the evaluation process, we should begin this parent coaching immediately. It could be a virtual parent coaching, so parents have some resource until their child is getting services. I think we need to somehow break the barriers for funding so that all children get access. We need to somehow have rounds of all the healthcare professionals so that we could pool together our resources and have a therapist speaking with a nutritionist, speaking with the neurologist, working on the whole child, not just one discipline. I know this happens a lot in private clinics, but we want to have this access for all children because, we can't just look at a child in one dimension, right? We're looking at the whole child because everything affects everything else. So if you have primitive reflexes that are retained, that is affecting speech output. If nutrition is not going well and children have an intolerance to certain foods, that is affecting speech output. So we want to look at these resources and have more collaboration streamlined with our healthcare professionals.
Yeah, I think that would be hugely impactful. Both points that you made, I think, would make a huge difference. And things do need to change. I think that there obviously has been, some changes over the last sort of 18 to 24 months within the industry. But we need to keep creating change. We really do. The demand and need for these services are through the roof, and I think we both know that that's not going to change anytime soon. If anything, it's just going to continue to increase. So I think there's ways that we could offer an all-round sort of 360 view and 360 care for the child. I think that would be the results of that would be absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, increasing the early intervention workforce is another major one, right? We have a shortage of therapists, and we really need to increase that so that these children have shorter wait lists and get the services that they need.
Yeah. Definitely. And moving on to our final question. So this is a bit of a imagination one, this one. So imagine someone brilliant sitting on the fence at the moment about the industry, or maybe they're even sort of 6 months into the clinical fellowship, questioning everything that they've decided to do. What do you want them to hear from you right now?
I would want them to hear that, the best paths, the paths that are the most worthy, are not the easiest paths. We really have to understand that something that's worthy can be exhausting. It could be long, tiring hours. Imposter syndrome always will show up for everyone. It's not just you. It shows up for the best of us. But we have to look at the fact that we were called to do something here to make a difference. I think that we all have our individual purposes, but as a collective human race, I think the purpose for humans is to give. And who better to give to than our future, right? And children are our future. So I don't think that people realize the impact that they can make and the difference they can make in someone's life, and how that is the most rewarding thing you can do for yourself. It's actually healing for yourself when you help others. And, if you're scared or you're thinking you're not doing something perfectly enough, I would think that you just have to be the best you that you can be, because if you're going into working with a child and you're really present and you're really mindful and intentional, and you are bringing all of yourself and all of your love with your education, I think that you don't realize the impact that you make. I've been in this industry long enough to have been rewarded with, years later, parents calling me saying that I inspired them to go back to school and they became teachers themselves. Showing me pictures of the children that I worked with that are doing so well and they're speaking or saying, "I love you, Mom," showing me these videos. And I didn't even know that I was making that much of a difference. If imposter syndrome came up, or I was, just not having a good day. But I knew that I loved these children, and I knew that every child was, I felt like my own. I didn't feel like as though they were my client. I felt like they were my own child. And in doing that, I think there was a lot of healing for myself from my past, being playful. And I mean, what job is better than getting on a floor and playing all day long? It's just the best job in the world. It's the most rewarding. And it's just a magical experience when you see that little one start to say their first words and connect with their parents.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, Esther. It's been brilliant to hear your insights, your own personal experiences, and the impact that you're having on the industry as well, and all the joy that it's managed to bring for you. It's always really enjoyable to sit in these sessions and actually see it coming out of somebody, how passionate they are about the industry. So it's been really, really enjoyable getting a chance to sit down and go through this with you. So thank you so much for contributing to the series.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
It was a pleasure.